Hello, we are Penguin Sisters, and I'm Elven Penguin, and this one didn't lose their voice today, so introduce yourself.
I'm Gizmo Penguin. I'm fine.
Let's make it the quote of the day.
But will we be fine after today's video? The dumbest work rules that actually exist in Japan. Who is the YouTuber for this one? We're gonna put their information in the description. So of course, to give them credit. Sora the Troll. Apparently he has a lot of really fantastic videos, so maybe we'll do more of them. I think you guys know, Elvin and I have lived in Japan a long time.
Sorry for my dumb face all the time. I'm just trying to switch the tabs. Okay, sorry for interrupting.
That's not even true. Her face is the natural model face, so it never looks dumb. That was intentional. That was intentional. Because if she was doing a photo shoot, that would have looked super cool with the pose, the earbud falling out. It's officially been 15 years since I first came to Japan, because I came here in March 2010. And it's almost the same for you, right?
Well, technically I came in Japan in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a short visit. So, yeah, for long term it's actually autumn of 2011, so it's not that long yet.
No, it's 2011, yeah, it's 14 years, so...
But you said March 2010 and it's 15 for you.
But 14 years, 15 years, if you think about it, we've almost been here almost half of our lives. Which is crazy. But yeah, so we're curious because we've worked at a few places in Japan by now, of course, so we're curious what's
is he gonna say? Let's see. I hope the sound will not be blasting through the computer. It's so... Oh? I'm sorry, it's like, let's connect it with air. It's gonna work. Why it doesn't work?
Oh, that's lovely. It looks so funny.
日本に実在する仕事に関する謎のルール。その1。
俺さ、ゲーム会社に就職したいんだよね。おお、すげえじゃん。だからパソコンで履歴書書いたんだよね。へえ。ってお前 PC で履歴書書いたの？はいお前 PC で履歴書書くのはマナー違反。無礼者！
履歴書は手書きでないといけない。理由、その方が人間の温かさを感じるから。
No, I've heard actually it's not atatakas or not the warmth, but like how you actually write. And maybe handwriting might be, if it's messy, it might characterize you as a poor mannered, like speedy person who is not care much. Yeah. And such like that. Like you can't even make mistakes in the resume. Like it's first of all it's filled on the special blanks.
Yeah.
You buy them for money. So you buy more just in case if you make mistake, because even this correction tape doesn't count. Yeah, you need to rewrite full thing if you make a mistake. So no mistakes, no pressure.
When you're ADHDers like us too, that is a nightmare.
Well, it's a good grounding exercise. Be present at last.
I think I had to buy like 3 because I messed up 2 of them. And like even the 3rd one was still crap.
Recently, like a few years ago, like every time I was looking for a job, I just sent the printed version, and and actually I was like worrying about this at the first, but my friend said like, would you want to work for the company that would reject you just because you didn't write it with handwriting? And I was like, yeah, I don't want to work for the like very hard and old-fashioned piece of Wood.
You just made everyone listening check their door.
The worst part of this, you need to put the real photo there, like the printed version, and that one is expensive. And they don't give you back the resume in many cases, even if you fail to get the job. So it's like, cha-ching, ka-ching.
Good luck to your wallet.
I guess around Corona, some of them still requested like
Yeah.
a real photo. Like I shouldn't say real because like obviously real photo, but the not printed in, like the resume can be printed out, but you have to still attach the regular photo on it, which is like money.
Yeah.
And also, it's not only resume that you actually give to your workplace. You also have another thing called the I don't want to butcher that word. Anyway, so it's like the work experience. So you actually point all of your workplaces the same as it's in the resume, and write in details what you have been doing there and how successful you are, how many sales you made that day. Even if you were not doing sales jobs, if you have no results and numbers, you are shitey employee. Like, yes, cultists. So you should just be.
It is so strict. It is so strict. I think I've only had to do it 2 times. And both times it was really bad. Mine was really bad.
Oh, I've been doing it, like, when I just started, I would have, for every single job, that was hell, to be honest.
No.
But recently they're more or less loyal, but I guess we are foreigners, so maybe they close their eyes.
Yeah.
Japanese people tend to actually, write it.
It's tough. I think it's
Even in IT companies, for example, which is ridiculous. Like, maybe some people will write it down because they don't know how to use Word properly.
Yeah, but Japanese people, it's true, are working really, really hard. Like, unbelievably hard, so... Oh, not even a moment to breathe, I think.
その2、
今日の会社くっそ暑くね。わかる。ダメだ、スーツ暑すぎる。スーツ脱ぐか。はいお前、スーツを脱ぐのはマナー違反。でもこいつもスーツ着てないよ。俺部長だからさ、ちょっとルール破っても許されるんだ。暑くてもスーツを脱ぐのはマナー違反。無礼者。
暑い時でもスーツを着る。これは会社によるし、最近は強制しないことが多い。理由、スーツを着るのが礼儀正しいから。
But cool biz. So there's a new kind of style, maybe not new, but recent, somewhat recent, like recent, maybe 5 years, or like no longer than 10 years ago at least. They started a new style called cool biz, which is basically like business formal or to business casual, but it's basically not a suit. It's like a suit shirt, but short sleeves, and the material is lighter. Because the trains like during rush hour, in the summer,
Hello there.
In companies I used to work, those were really Japanese. You have to wear a suit, but they would put the air conditioner on 0 degrees. I don't know. This is just inhumane. You just feel cold. Like, I would bring my some coats that I wear in winter just to feel not cold, you know. If somebody feels hot there, they wouldn't remove the suit, but they would put the air conditioner on the minimum.
Maybe it depends on the manager. Like if the manager of the company or like branch or whatever is willing to actually spend the extra that they would have to pay for the air conditioning.
Oh, nobody cared. It was so cold. Or so hot in the winter, you just like,
it's horrible stuff.
I can't think in this condition.
But I have been to companies, but usually smaller companies like that, where it's so hot. It's dreadful. I don't know how they deal with it. Yeah, maybe these feel a little bit old-fashioned now. Or maybe like companies that are still a bit old-fashioned, maybe?
Yeah, because the one that everybody was suited was... the boss was like over 80s, in his 80s, so...
Fortunately, guys, I don't think it's going to be in here. But there was a point in time while we were here, while we first came here, where women in the company were expected to serve tea to the male workers.
At least to the guests.
Yeah, at least to the guests, and many times
On
the
the
male
meetings.
workers. And also, what is it called? Girichoko?
Oh, the giri
Obligation
yes.
chocolate. For Valentine's Day, the female employees had to give chocolate to the men. And it's still kind of expected even now. But then the men are supposed to return the favor to the women on White Day, March 14th, right?
Never happened.
They never do. Okay, maybe we shouldn't say never. There's probably some guys who do, but it's in our...
Never happened with us. That's the thing.
Maybe he'll mention it. I don't know if those will be in there, but yeah.
Good point about cool bees though, yeah.
Yo.
の3、
よーし仕事終わった帰るか。おいお前これから飲み会なんだが来るか。いやちょっと今日は飲み会行きたくないんで。はいお前飲み会に誘われたら行かないとマナー違反。そうだぞ空気読めや。飲み会も仕事のうちだぞ。お前が飲み会に行かないことで会社の調和が崩れる。無礼者。
飲み会に誘われたら行かなければいけない。理由、飲み会に行くことで会社の人と仲良くなれるから。けど実際は揉め事が増えるだけ。
That's a tough one.
Especially if you don't drink, that's
Yeah.
horrible.
Like, I don't like alcohol. And I was always worried that I'm gonna end up in the companies that do this frequently. But somehow I didn't. So I barely went to any nomikai. Only these like seasonal ones that, like, for example, end of the year ones, or when you just enter the company, like as an employee, they can throw this welcome party.
But didn't you have the last company? Weren't there many nomikai?
No, it's just, like only when new people join. So it's not like a monthly basis, for example.
Oh, it'd be hell.
My friend was in the companies where you have to go, like, and they had a lot. I mean, you can't make it an excuse, like I have an alcohol allergy, and some can buy it, but if you somehow, like, you don't have it, just don't want to join, and somebody finds you, like, drinking somewhere else, you will be in trouble, yeah, like, it's, like, a lot to the relationship in the company, so it's like... Reputation. But yeah, I mean, even if you don't drink alcohol, they can say, oh, there's soft drinks. So yeah, you have to join anyway.
Let me put the scenario out there. You're an introvert. And you just worked a full work day, plus overtime. It usually happens in Japanese companies. And you're drop dead exhausted. You have had your social quota filled for 3 days worth. But now... everyone's going to the nomikai drinking party, and they're like, come on, let's go. And you're like, oh. But you have to go.
Because you're people pleaser. I'm joking, because you're working in a Japanese company, so you have to be people pleaser.
Yeah.
I actually liked, because, like, it was kind of welcoming, yeah, people would chat, and so I don't like noisy places, so I can't hear. I don't know, I don't have problems with my hearing, but in loud places somehow I can't hear. Neither waiter or people around. Sometimes I feel like I have to ask them to repeat it again and again and again.
And when they ask you to give a speech,
Oh, this one I hate.
Mm-hmm.
This one I try to dodge as much as possible. And if I can't, I will say something formal and just come by. That's...
It's pretty, like, usually they don't let you prepare anything in advance. I've only had to do it once. I'm not good speaking in front of a group, like, I get super nervous anyway. But I remember they're like, yes, Gizmo, come up and speak. What? I was already by that point planning my escape. And, yeah. Instead I gave a speech. I don't remember what I said, and probably no one understood it. I think that's one of the big ones, Japan work rules. Nomikai, I feel like, is really one of the big ones at any company.
Yeah, I was really... drinking, aside, many places I go are smoking places, and I just can't, I can't bear it. So, even the last company you mentioned, if they sometimes could ask, like, preferences in food or something, I said, like, anything but not smoke, like non-smoking area, please, because otherwise I can't, because like it's close to allergy, to be honest, the smoke. I mean, I think it's tougher when people are much older than you, for example, like there is this age gap and you feel awkward, and like especially if you don't have colleagues around your age, or like even both sides, like if the colleagues are too young or too old, it's like can I leave already? Seriously. But I enjoy food.
Yeah, that's something nice.
Free food.
And if you don't like alcohol but you feel, well, don't be pressured. I mean, don't be pressured to drink. Like, it's not worth it if you don't drink. Don't be pressured. But if it's not gonna affect you terribly and like you feel like I should get something, I recommend umeshu if they have it, the plum wine.
Yeah.
Be careful, don't drink too much because it you don't feel like it's affecting you.
Because it's like a juice.
It tastes like a delicious juice.
Very delicious, very tempting. Very easy to get drunk.
I hate alcohol, but that one's actually nice. It's not bad, but be careful.
It doesn't leave this taste of alcohol afterwards, which many drinks are.
その4。
おっと、もう8時か。9時に会社に着けばいいから、あと40分後に家出るか。電話？もしもし？おい、もう8時だぞ。新入社員のくせに何やってるんだ。でも9時から仕事開始ですよね。はいお前、仕事開始の1時間前には会社にいないとマナー違反。なんで？仕事をするために準備がかかるだろう。無礼者！
仕事の1時間前には出社する。会社によっては30分前だったりする。理由、仕事の準備に時間がかかるから、もちろんその給料は出ない。
Yes, I've broken that one 1,000 times. I think I've broken that every time.
Oh, actually, I've heard like one of the Japanese people was saying like they're in management position. They got into management position, and apparently the manager before them was like American cultured one. So that manager would say like, "Oh, you screw this rule. Just come on time," and something like that. That's so nice. The people who were working are foreigners, so they will come in like on time or sometimes late because of the train or whatever. That manager, like, I don't know what happened to them, like they left, for example, and the Japanese person is the manager now, and they are shocked with attitude of the people, like, at least come at 5 minutes before, please. Nope, everybody ignores this request. My last company was like, okay, we had this morning meeting where we discussed the task and other stuff. It starts at 10, the same time when the job starts. And we had this condition, you need to be in this Skype or whatever chat room 1 minute before it. It's a rule, but when I was going to the office, I would come like 15 minutes before or something like that. But even like me coming 15 minutes before, some people come 30 minutes, some more, some a little bit less than me, but yeah.
Mostly Japanese, right? Younger Japanese.
Everybody Japanese.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was working in other companies, as the one I already mentioned, with the suits, we had to come 1 hour before to make cleaning and do stuff just for arriving our boss, for arrival of our boss. No matter if he comes that day or not, we didn't know. We didn't know. That's why we had to come early. You need to come little bit earlier, so you launch your computer, which is slow, for example. It takes time, so I understand that you need to be punctual and bit earlier than your work schedule, but yeah, 30 minutes, 1 hour, it's like...
And then like the train, like... Oh,
it's packed.
It's panic attack inducing level of packed. I don't know how people do it every day here. But yeah, to have to go extra early, you're not even working, you're not getting paid for it. But it actually reminds me, Gen Z in the West has been complaining about the working conditions in the West. To be fair, I don't completely disagree with them, and I understand why. Like, I understand some of the things they complain about, but could you imagine them in this kind of work environment?
They would quit immediately.
It's really difficult for Japanese people as well, but they really just gear up and do it. It's
yeah,
incredible.
I mean, they're schooled. Basically,
Yeah,
schooled to be patient, schooled to be sitting straight 8 hours, whatever hours you just sit and do.
Cleaning the school, yeah.
And cleaning the
yeah.
school
You
and
said about cleaning.
don't whine.
Yeah.
Just bear with it.
Some of them, well, most of them have school on Saturday as well. Club activities, what is it? Bukatsu?
Bukatsu, yeah.
Bukatsu. It's like, what am I? Katsu. Chicken katsu. Chicken katsu.
I'm hungry again.
Chicken bukatsu.
Japanese people in general are quite punctual, like they come at least 10 minutes before the meeting, which is great, like, because sometimes I aim for 10 minutes before but come on time or later because of the trains or because I screwed the route.
I really wonder with Japanese people with ADHD and maybe not autism, maybe Japanese people with autism are going to be able to find a decent routine. Not that the workplace is going to be understanding enough, but with ADHD it must be so hard in Japan to be a Japanese person with it. I think as foreigners, it's not that we get away with it completely, but most likely the Japanese staff are going to look at it like, okay, they don't know our ways, so we'll give them a little grace.
Yeah, like, depends though. Probably if the management was racist or something, they would scold. Otherwise, they usually tend to close their eyes on the foreign behavior. I'm Gaijin and I know it.
その後、
おはようございます。
おい、これから朝礼だぞ。早く来いよ。
朝礼って何ですか？
みんなが仕事前に集まって一人ずつおはようございますって言うんだよ。
意味わからないんで行かなくていいですか？
はいお前、朝礼に参加しないのはマナー違反。無礼者！朝礼とかいう儀式があり、みんなが集まって挨拶する。理由、その方がやる気が出るから。
Not actually for Yaruki, not for a mood. It's not only greeting. Usually it was the tasks. Not even in the previous company, on every company, except probably that company that we had to arrive 1 hour early. That one, it was greeting, and it wasn't chore. It was more like, okay, boss is showing up. Stand up!
Chore, like super greeting. It's really... Oh.
No, a choice for morning.
Sounds like super greeting the whole time he was saying, because they don't have the kanji there. So, like, cho sounds like cho as in super. He used the romaji, so I was like, super greeting.
Super gratitude is also raise, ore. Thank you. Super gratitude for working here. Best environment ever.
The power of words.
I think every single work I was working at,
Chore?
we had chore.
Oh. I don't think any. Maybe one. I can't really remember it well. But I do remember everyone kind of getting together, but it didn't feel so formal. So, maybe.
The only one I didn't, like, the company itself had it, but I didn't participate. It was when I was outsourcing worker. So as outsourcing person, I could arrive 5 minutes before, not 15 minutes before, and nobody would say a word. And yeah, like when I arrived like 10 minutes before, for example, I saw people was doing chore.
Let's teach some Japanese. So, employee of the company, kaishain?
Seishain or kiyakushin. Well, it's not even employees of the company. Like
There's so many different, there's so many different words for it
well,
in Japanese.
seishain is like absolutely the company worker who is there in this employee belongs to the company. Keiyakushain is also a contract worker, but sometimes they are quite the same functionality and same responsibilities as other stuff. Hakenshain is the outsourcing. So it's employee of other company who outsourcing them to this particular company to perform this particular company's tasks. And baito, arubaito, the part-time workers, they kind of belong to this company, but they like don't work full hours or full week, for example.
So if you come to Japan, be careful. If you're trying to get a visa through a company, check which title you get. If you come to Japan as a student, arubaito is great, part-time job, but you need the special permission to. So you have to go to...
And you work under 28 hours, no matter anything people say, like, don't do it. They will find out by your taxes, and you will not get work visa if...
Yeah, be careful. But the positive thing, you can do any job with if you're a university student. Not hostess job.
Not bar, no night jobs.
We need, that's a good way to say it, because we can't say that word on YouTube, which is so stupid.
Make sure you put it under 28 hours and make sure you attend your university or school, because otherwise you will be deported, because like your visa will be annulled.
Yeah, be careful. We've done a lot of extras work, for example, extras on TV and in movies. That's really, you can join agencies, you can do work like that. Yeah, university students, you can do some really cool jobs as well.
Unless they disturb your studying hours. Yeah.
その6。
ふう、会社を建てたはいいものの、すみません、例の仕事ですが、まだ終わってないんです。こいつ、全然使えないな。使えないから解雇するか。はいお前、仕事ができないからクビは違法。そうだぞ。俺が仕事できないなら、ちゃんと教育しろや。仕事ができないからってクビにしたら、逆に訴えられることもあるんだぞ。無礼者！
仕事ができないからクビは違法。理由、日本には終身雇用という概念があり、よっぽどのことがないとクビにできないから。
No, it's old-fashioned.
Because I was going to say, I might be wrong, so Americans let me know if the times have changed, but America, you would be thrown out if you couldn't do the job.
I think same in Russia. I mean, it's pointless to have you.
I didn't know that about Japan.
No, first of all, they said like this lifetime. It was in 80s and 90s probably.
Bubble period.
Yeah, but not now, because nobody has money to support you through your life. But this is the difference between seishain and others.
Yes.
Seishain, yes, they can't fire you. Even if you don't do anything, they can't fire you. Seriously. Unless you really made some huge mistakes that cost a lot of money to the company, for example, or losing trust of the client, they can fire you on this case. But if you just don't do your work, you can't be fired.
You just sit there.
Yes, you just sit there. If you're keiyakushain, which is contract worker, you have limit of your contract, and they can reconsider to extend it on the next if you work poorly. Same with outsourcing workers. They always talk to the agent and say like, oh no, this person doesn't work properly, so we don't want to extend his contract.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
That is a really weird one.
But yeah, this lifetime policy, I've heard people were actually upset with this thing, like that it's not present anymore, because it was great thing for people who were having families, because it's harder to find job when you're in your 50s, 60s and 70s or something.
7
やべえ、この仕事今日終わらなかった。
なあ、お前まだそれ終わってないのか。
すみません。まあ明日また会社来た時に終わらせます。
いや、今日終わらせろ。
ああ、残業か。わかりました。でも残業代出るんですよね。
サービス残業に決まってるだろ。お前のせいなんだから。
え？
はいお前、サービス残業をしないのはマナー違反。無礼者！サービス残業という概念があり、残業を給料なしでやることがある。最近はこれが問題視されており、サービス残業をしない会社が増えている。理由、残業をするのは自分のせいだから。
No, sometimes it's poor management. That's why you didn't finish out on time. They keep giving you tasks that you basically cannot do it, not because you are stupid or something. It's just voluminous, and they just put your, especially when you chill and you do nothing, they will not bother you because they know that you can't do anything. But this course, who has extreme abnormal responsibility feeling, must be able to make it come true. Like, so they put it on people who work arses like us.
I've been really lucky in that, like, I haven't had that experience, but I know you have, and Elvin definitely has, and I know plenty of Japanese people who have. I couldn't bear it. Honestly, I would become a Yankee, which I am a Yankee, because I'm from the Yankee area of America. But you guys probably know this if you're here watching this because of Japanese culture, but Yankee is like a person with a really bad reputation, someone who causes trouble in Japan. Which is weird, I don't know why. I need to research that, why they took Yankee
go home?
I don't know why, because Yankee has such positive meaning in the US.
Oh.
Unless you're in the South. then back away, because the Confederates are going to be pissed.
But is it from South, Yankee go home?
Oh, maybe it is, from the Civil War. I don't know.
Like, I've heard this phrase...
Yankee go home. Let us know if you guys know it. I actually don't know it. Okay, really funny story, super quickly. This has nothing to do with Japan, but the Yankees. I was on a school band trip, and our bus said Yankee bus, which would be fine, except we went to Tennessee.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. So we thought. So our band director put 2 Confederate flags in the window, like, we come in peace. Please don't hate us Yankees. But in Japan, Yankee has this really negative image. I think I would be viewed as an actual Yankee, as I couldn't do this. Like, the injustice of it would upset me so much, I'd probably quit.
Things that I was listening to audiobook of Gone with the Wind, so I know what you're talking about. Sorry, but about this service Zangyo and just Zangyo. Some companies say, okay, if you do Zangyo, it will be a plus to your salary. Like, you will just check out, and then, these hours will be counted extra money. However, majority of companies, you need to say in advance to your manager or whatever that you are going to be doing Zangyo overtime. Because of this reason. Sometimes you need to actually have a paper with the stamp that they accepted this. Like, yes, I'm planning to do it. So sometimes I don't know. But they need to do it in advance, otherwise you will not get your money. My ex-company colleague was saying, when they just joined the company, they had to replace some of the other people who didn't work well, but they still were in the company. Yeah, my ex-colleague, they needed to do a lot of stuff, and they were getting back home like at 3 a.m. or like after midnight. And I was like, oh, but you made great money back then, right? Like you for this overtime job. And she's like, no. In this company, if you put this like I'm going to do overwork, they will fire you immediately. So of course not. Basically, when you come in the company, they have like there are several patterns. For example, companies that say like, this is your possible salary. Then the overtime is not included, so any overtime will be plus. Other companies will say 20 hours, 30 hours, 10 hours, 45 hours are included in the salary. So any overtime of this 45 hours would be paid. But yeah, such companies usually require you like to proceed this like officially, like that you are going to do the overtime.
Did you get paid for Zongyo?
Yes, the last company, when I overlapped the 20 hours, like 20 hours were included.
Ah, okay.
Over 20 hours, and actually I made a lot in the first months because I had to stay in because but when I was staying in the home and like on remote job, sometimes I would cut my thing because like they started to say like people here, not only me actually was doing the to be honest, management was poor. So they started to take too much overtime, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, I just screw it. I check out and I work already in my pace. But still had to finish. So yeah, but sometimes I felt like maybe it is my fault because my attention span with the ADHD and
but
depression and others.
At least you're doing something, unlike the people who know I want to be fired. So I will sit here and enjoy my... Well, I can't blame them. Let's teach another Japanese word. Torture. Gomon.
Kaisha. Torture. Kaisha. Okay, it's company, I'm sorry.
その8。
もう5時だ。仕事終わり？お前まさか5時に帰ろうとしてんの？だって5時で仕事終わりですよね。お前の上司である俺がまだ仕事終わってないんだよ。はいお前、定時に帰るのはマナー違反。無礼者！
定時に帰ってはいけない。これは会社による。理由、誰も知らない。
I wasn't expecting that reason.
Yeah, I would think they would say like, oh, your boss is still working or something like that. But yeah, that's so funny. That's true. Like, you can't do overtime much because like it's gonna be like, okay, especially if it costs money to the company. On the other hand, you can't check out in the strict. Only if you can, like outsourcing. Yeah, they would rather you get out as quickly as possible because they have to pay money to the agent. The company I mentioned many times today, they were like, oh, if the boss is there, nobody leaves. Nobody leaves. Nobody leaves. No matter what you have. Actually, like I've heard the story from there. And I wasn't witnessing it. There was a guy who would go on time every time. And once he left, when boss was there, like sometimes boss wasn't in the office, so he was just leaving. But yeah, so boss getting out, everybody stands up.
Oh no!
And boss suddenly saying like, "And where is this dude?"
Oh.
You don't want to be that dude. Even the previous company, like everybody was somewhat chill, but it still felt a little bit unnatural to leave while people sitting. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's like just complex or something. And maybe it's a Japanese thing.
Yeah. Senpai Kohai culture, it makes sense that the boss is like a god type figure. I just wasn't expecting the reason.
Yeah, the reason nobody knows. Yeah. I would think they would say respect, but no.
Yeah, I would have thought so as well. Like, the boss is like god, so...
Yeah. That's so lame, actually. Like...
Yeah. It's changing though. It's
Yeah.
definitely changing, but and like Elvin said, some of these rules are arbitrary by now, and you don't really find them in companies as much. It's like we said, you don't really see the female staff expected to pour tea like they. Well, it's sometimes a little bit still expected actually, but it's not like you have to.
But I was so clumsy, so nobody asked me. You can pretend that. It's not just putting tea on small things. You also bring it there, do the knocks, do the shiturashi very careful, and then you place like first to the guest, then to yours, and like so order another thing, and you try to be like polite, not to fucking interfere, but still you.
And before, if you're at like nomikai drinking party too, make sure you refill their glasses before you refill your own.
This one is awful. I actually was asked once to like, okay, I'm the newest one, so I have to pour somebody's. And I'd never done it, so I was like, and everybody's like, have you ever done it? And I said, like, no, probably shouldn't. So nobody asked me again.
That's the way to do it if you never want to do it again. Oh,
Favorite.
become Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Nobody will ask you ever again to go to anywhere.
Dude, Japan sucks.
I know. Some of them are really bad. Is that why you're a freelance translator and a voice actor?
Yeah, Japanese people in this generation think it's a nightmare to work for Japanese companies, so there are a lot of people like me in 2023.
Wow. Sucks to be you.
What?
No, but yeah. Majority are tough. But yeah, if easy visa situation stuff is.
It is insane though. Like I think in general the Japanese work culture. I mean, as a Western person, of course, I'm going to say this right, but I think it is really insane the work culture here. Even now, even with some of the changes, even though it's not all of these rules anymore, because you see it even with the students. Starting with them, they have so little free time to really just be kids and play. And I personally feel that's super, super sad. But at the same time, it's true that Japanese students, Chinese students, a lot of students in Asia are way ahead of Western students in terms of education and work ethic. So there's benefits to it, but I would imagine that quite a lot of the depression and anxiety in Japan, high levels of depression and, self-deletion, right? I could easily imagine it's to do with the intense work culture.
And ridiculous rules.
Chore! No, sorry, it's not super.
You're super grateful for chores.
Yes. Chorizo.
Churros.
Oh.
Would you work for a classical Japanese company, but they have churros?
If you can find an international company in Japan, it's probably going to be a little bit closer to home, or I'm thinking it depends on what country you're from, but it might be a little bit easier or less expectation. If you want to live and stay here, you do need, if you're not a university student, you need a job. So, chore. Go on.
Sabisu zangyo.
Sabisu zangyo.
It's overtime you don't get paid because you serve the company.
I hope you guys enjoyed. We had fun.
Yeah. We had PTSD memories. This is gonna count us on the nightmares tonight.
I learned something with some of them though I didn't know. So I also learned something. Oh. Yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed. And let us know if there was any that surprised you, or that maybe you knew about all of them.
Maybe you experienced them on your own skin.
Maybe you've created them for your company. You can ask us questions too, like if we can answer, we'll try to, of course. And if there's something you'd like us to react to, definitely let us know. We have a whole list that we keep adding to, and but not just reacting to videos you saw before. We are trying different foods. We might do some game stuff. So yeah, it will be exciting. No. Zangyo. Gomon. Zangyo Gomon. Goemon is a good game.
She looks like she knows what she's doing.
And don't worry, by the end of this video, I will have messed this up beyond repair.
I would be more shocked if you did it fall because I've never ever. No, I mean
I've never done
it's
it
just
either.
like it's not like I'm considering you
Did it?
not smart. I'm just like it's so hard. But on the other hand,
Oh.
it's so simple if you know the principle. It's just basically the same rotation, but I still don't follow it. Smash it like our like button. Click the bell if you enjoyed. Subscribe and then click the bell.
And if you click the subscribe button, you will save one person from Sabisu Zangyo and Gomon.
Mental Gomon. Anyway, see you around.